Alright, what's up everybody, it's your boy Plays here. This is a really long one, pause. 12 games that will push PS5 and Xbox to the limit in 2026 next-gen console watch. 27 minutes and then I'll probably be rambling for like 8 more, so this is definitely going to be over half an hour. My ass hurts already and I haven't started. Comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, socials in description. Let's get into it. Hopefully I have storage for this.
Welcome back to Next Gen Console Watch, our show following the latest gaming hardware. I'm Damon Hatfield, and as always, I'm joined by Ryan McCaffrey, host of Podcast Unlocked, and Max Scoville, host of Podcast Beyond. And we're in a new year with a whole new slate of upcoming games to look forward to. But what are the 2026 games
Yes,
that will be
sir.
most visually impressive? Which games will push?
Before he even gets to saying anything, a few I can think of off the top of my head. Grand Theft Auto 6, Wolverine. We haven't heard much about the Iron Man game. Yeah, those are the only two I can think of. Oh, Witcher 4. I forgot about that. I did a reaction to the tech demo last year. What else?
The PlayStation
Yeah, let's just
5,
let it play.
Xbox Series X, and all but the highest end PCs to their limits. January is a little quiet, but things start going in February with Resident Evil Requiem. Got a new trailer out of CES this week showcasing its 4K path tracing and NVIDIA DLSS4. Shows a crowded urban area with cars driving by, rain, pedestrians walking past Claire. There's also really nice lighting in dark indoor areas. Now, not everyone loves the idea of a crowded urban environment in a Resident Evil game, but you have to admit, looks very impressive. Max, what did you think?
No, definitely. I'm really curious. I was pretty skeptical about this game when all we were seeing was claustrophobic hallways and Grace dodging this big creature, and then they announced Leon, and I got really excited because I realized how much I like Leon. The hair physics are great. He looks good. That hair looks good. So does the stubble. But yeah, no, the big open environment. I know some people are kind of skeptical about how the RE engine handles that, but I'm interested to see what the developers do with it. And they've said it's going to be kind of a 50-50 mix of pure survival horror and the more action-oriented stuff that we're accustomed to from some of the series. And
This is really beautiful, bro. Look at the quality of the lighting and the textures on the railings, the wooden railings.
I don't know. I feel like the action stuff is better suited to larger scale environments.
Steam Deck could never.
Like on a big busy city street.
Bro, look at the texturing on the painting. Look at this.
Caveat for how this all comes together is this is coming to Switch 2 as well. So yeah, pushing the boundaries of the other two current gen consoles. Not too worried about that. Obviously, high-end PCs have no trouble at all with this kind of stuff. But if the developers have to accommodate the Switch 2, what does that mean for bigger environments like this? Mm-hmm. What does this mean for sequences that rely heavily on a whole bunch of lighting and a bunch of stuff just happening in the environment? But it'll definitely look good.
Yeah, Capcom goes all out with its Resident Evil games. The Resident Evil 2 remake opened with probably the most delicious looking cheeseburger I've ever seen in a video game. Ryan, are you looking forward to Resident Evil Requiem?
Most definitely. And Capcom, to their credit, they have quietly been cooking on the tech front, speaking of burgers, for quite a while. Like if you go back to the 360 PS3 generation, when they rolled out their MT framework in-house engine that Lost Planet used, RE5 used. Obviously, they've since moved on. You guys talked about the RE engine now, but like they kind of, I feel like are a little bit unheralded with how good their tech tends to be. So yeah, I have no doubt that Resident Evil Requiem is going to be quite the looker in just a couple months here. Not even that.
Yeah, just right around the corner, February 27th. That one is out. Don't have to wait too long for that. And then I think the following month, finally, after 6 years, Crimson Desert should finally be coming out. This is a follow-up to Black Desert Online, which was an MMO.
So when they finally, I think this is from Pearl Abyss, Crimson Desert. Let me double check some pictures on Google real quick. Crimson Desert. It's like this huge, yeah, this is it. Pearl Abyss. I think they're like a Korean developer, yeah. So when they finally finish this, they can get to working on Dokivi, which is what I'm really excited about.
No,
but let's let them continue.
Open world action adventure game, I think sort of along the lines of The Witcher. This is something that, the Black Desert Online had an
yeah, I was just about to say The Witcher.
And I think the visuals for this game have had people excited ever since we first saw it all those years ago. Ryan, though, your previews editor here at IGN, we had a preview go up in October. Wasn't super positive on this game, right?
Well, yeah, we'll see on the gameplay front. That remains to be seen a little bit, but I can, from personal experience, attest to the tech side of it. I got a behind closed doors look at an engine demo of this running in real time right in front of me back at GDC, which is now, that's like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It's like 10 and a half months ago, but it was incredibly impressive. And then I did get to play it for, granted, only like 15-20 minutes in a short appointment at the Summer Game Fest event last June. So and I can definitely say, just in my,
this game really looks and feels like one of those that really just cannot run on PS4. It has to be next gen, which I think it is. Yeah, it is exclusive. Yeah,
hands with
makes
the controller
sense.
in my hands, it looks stunning. It is definitely one of the better looking games I've ever seen, and I think it definitely, on the tech side, on the visual side, earns its place on this list. And I'm curious what the final polished version of this game is going to look like.
Yeah, even the footage that we see here, super impressive. Lots of particles, debris and leaves blowing in the wind. Lots of stuff going on. Max, is this something you have your eye on?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really know where to look. As for how it's playing, it's worth noting that Pearl Abyss did have it playable at Gamescom this year, and Jada Griffin, who's a regular on Podcast Beyond, got a chance to play a good chunk of it. I want to say like 40 minutes, and it definitely sounds like a big, beefy, solid game with lots of stuff to learn, lots of systems, lots of stuff to explore. I'm just kind of fascinated because if you watch any given sequence for this game long enough, you almost lose track of the amount of different verbs, the different ways you can interact with it. Like you can transform it as sort of a flying wraith shaped thing to get around aerially. There are these big floating sort of sky.
It's like an Ultimate Edition version of The Witcher 3. It's what The Witcher 3 should have been. Well, not should have, because the newer games are always going to add something else.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Bro,
You've got big, huge, fantastical beasts, and again, it all looks just stunning. It's just gorgeous. I remember when Pearl Abyss first showed off Black Desert Online way back in, I think it was 2016, maybe 2017. They dropped that character creator video, and it looked completely too good to be true. And I was fascinated by the idea of it, but I also wasn't particularly drawn to an MMO. And I was like, okay, well, if they do a big, single player open world type of thing.
Yeah, I'm not really an MMO type of guy myself.
They announced that in whenever 2020, whenever this was announced, and it's finally coming out, and I am dying to check it out. Ironically, it doesn't involve character creation because you play as one, bespoke protagonist. That said, it does sound like Pearl Abyss has plans for sort of online post-game, like sort of a GTA Online component, and which would involve creating.
Look at this.
And really getting to mess around in this sandbox. I double check me on that, but I believe that's the kind of tentative plan right now.
This also gives me Dragon's Dogma vibes. A lot of the scenes that we're seeing here. Anyway,
That's
Crimson
fair.
Desert, I believe, is out in March. Again, not
Yes.
too far away. And then in May, we get a game we've actually seen a lot of, I think. That's 007 First Light. It's from IO Interactive, the Hitman devs. They have their own Glacier engine. And I think the impressive things we've seen so far of this is some really nice facial animations coming up, especially with our hero, a young James Bond. We also know the PC version of this will have DLSS4 support with multi-frame generation, so it should have very high frame rates even at 4K. The devs say they've implemented a never-before-seen volumetric fog and smoke system. So if that's true, we should have some really nice looking smoke and fog and some moody environments, and then that'll affect.
We already do,
explosions
but
as well.
yeah, I'm looking forward to
Environments
seeing
are
what that's like.
physics-based, so objects and crates, they'll react realistically during shootouts and car chases. Ryan, I know you're excited for this one.
Yeah, and another thing I think that's maybe not unheralded with the Glacier engine, but one of the first things that pops to mind for me is the crowd density. The Hitman, you just get rooms full of people, and of course Agent 47's kind of just snaking his way through, trying to decide how to take out his target, and we see a little bit of that in this gameplay footage running now. So yeah, I think this one could be one of those like sum of all its parts in terms of how technically good it looks, where it's just like a comprehensive package of like, wow, this from top to bottom, this just looks really good. So yeah, their history, they're such a talented developer, and it seems like just a perfect fit for them to be making a 007 game. And I'm psyched for this one. I'm glad they're taking a couple extra months of polish,
Right.
because my one half concern in that Sony State of Play that they did however many months ago that was now, was the frame rate looked pretty iffy at that point. So the fact that they went ahead and moved to May, since GTA moved out of May, I think we're just going to get we're clearly going to get a better game as a result.
Yeah. We will be talking about GTA a little bit later in this video.
But you have to. GTA is the number one, but you probably save it for last.
Forza Horizon 6. In this game, I don't think we've seen any gameplay. I think there's just a 1 minute long reveal trailer. But you know, the pedigree of this franchise and of the developer, I think they've probably earned their spot. As this is probably going to be one of the better looking games of the year, right?
I mean, you said it. You said it better than I could. You're right. We haven't seen a moment of actual gameplay footage from this yet, but as you said, the Forza Tech engine that Playground Games and Turn 10 have been collectively.
There's just something about that Japanese mountain, man. Look at that. Oh my god. I think it's Mount Fuji it's called. Let me Google it. Mount Fuji. It's a volcano, my bad. Beautiful.
Honing.
I want to go to Japan one day.
Past decade plus. Forza Horizon 5, IGN's Game of the Year for 2021, was one of the best games out at that time. And this one's obviously only going to look even better. And Japan is just such a gorgeous setting that, yeah, I
beautiful place. Yeah,
we're going to be drooling over the visuals on this one once we get some gameplay footage, which should be pretty soon, because Playground Games is confirmed to be at the Xbox Developer Direct later this month, and that means it could be Forza Horizon 6, could be Fable, could be both. They just said Playground, so I suspect that this one's out before Fable is, and so I think it's a pretty good odds that we will see our first Forza Horizon 6 footage here in just a week or so.
I mean, speaking of Fable, that's probably also going to be a pretty impressive game coming this year, also from Playground. It runs on the Forza Tech engine, a modified version of that. Everything we've seen in the trailers, and I noticed some really good work with shadows. I don't know if this is the exact trailer, but the hero has a sword on her back, and when she walks, the sword is like realistically bouncing, and you can see underneath it has a shadow that's being projected very realistically on her back. So yeah, Playground could have 2 games out this year, and 2 really, really nice looking games, right?
Yeah, I am a little skeptical of whether or not Fable makes this year, only because of GTA 6, right? I think clearly the plan, I mean, they had delayed it from 2024 from 20.
It looks like a cross between Final Fantasy and Harry Potter. It's more specifically Hogwarts Legacy.
And that was before GTA.
Let me twist.
So,
I am feeling pain.
We'll see where Fable lands, but you're right. They might end up dropping both of these this year. And from the snippets of gameplay that we've seen, like we haven't seen proper, like with the HUD on and actual just live, quote unquote, live gameplay. But from the stuff running in engine that we've seen, it's spectacular looking. I mean, we do know that Forza Tech, as used in Forza Horizon, creates these big, gorgeous open worlds. So apply that to a fantasy setting and turn the cars into people, and we could have a seriously good-looking video game on our hands here.
Yeah.
The good thing about this is that, like, you don't have to make a RPG where the person is going 270 miles an hour and have the environment keep up with that. But we've seen what they did with Forza Horizon 5, and I just want to point out, Forza Horizon 5 was an Xbox One game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
That arrived on the Series X, and it's incredible in spite of this. And I'm dying to see what they do with Horizon 6. I feel like even more curious than I am than Fable. I mean, Fable's going to be really interesting. They've shown way more of it, I guess. But again, I'm with Ryan on this. I'm skeptical until I see something that looks more like an actual video game and less like cutscenes.
Well, Max, on the PlayStation side, we'll be getting Wolverine from Insomniac. Insomniac makes very good looking games. I think Ratchet
finally talking about Wolverine
is still one of, if not the best looking PS5 game.
Some might say
it is.
They're the best at what they do.
Some might say that's actually true. We know they use ray tracing. I like they said in their sort of reveal trailer for Wolverine, they said they've got new blood tech. They've developed new blood tech for Wolverine to slash and stab his way through his enemies. So that's very exciting to me.
Wait, I need to see this. Hold on, let me go back.
They're the best at what they do.
Some might say that's actually true. We know they use ray tracing. I like they said in their sort of reveal trailer for Wolverine, they said they've got new blood tech. They've developed new blood tech for Wolverine to.
You know, I love being able to see the in-game engine and just watching them place assets in the world. I would love to be a fly on the wall to see them do this.
Stab his way through his enemies, so that's very exciting to me.
And there's this thing that they,
the load times to expect on Wolverine. That's kind of one of the big selling points of the PS5.
You know, when I hear Wolverine video game, I just get so excited at the thought of load times. But no, seriously, like I hear Wolverine video game, I just get
let me see that again.
Thought of load times. But no, seriously, like the blood tech is definitely, that's fun sizzle. That's going to be, I'm curious how they take advantage of that. Obviously, they've got this frequently very M-rated or M-rated adjacent character, and I think they want to prove that even under Disney, they're allowed to properly pop the claws and, cause some carnage. The load times are the thing that I think they have in the bag, because if you've played a recent Insomniac game like the PS5 version of Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2 or Ratchet and Clank, for instance, the fast travel in Spider-Man on PS5 takes advantage of that SSD that was hyped up so much, and it just,
Yep. That 5.5 gigabytes per second SSD.
Or stare at a screen, and it's borderline instantaneous. And then you look at the rift apart sequences, the titular rifts. When you travel through them, an entire new environment just materializes instantly, and it's, some of that is like.
It's good, but it's almost jarring in a good way, because we spend our entire lives waiting on loading screens, that it's just become part of like an expectation. And then a lot of the times the loading screen is just like my way to take a quick snack, check my phone, or do something else. So it's like, no, I don't have the time to do that because the game loads instantly. Not complaining though. It's just not what we're used to.
There was I want to say it was Digital Foundry or somebody, they did a test where they were like, could this work on PS4 tech? Could this,
Yes, it was Ratchet and Clank. It was Ratchet and Clank, I think, that they did it with. They did test it on PS4. A PC that was PS4 level. They did. I remember that video.
No, and it's, again, it's a Sony first party game, so they're going to really want them to showcase what a PlayStation 5 can do, and presumably also a PS5 Pro, which we haven't really been given a reason to get too excited about, but maybe with a little more runway, Wolverine can show us how it's done. I'm first and foremost excited about this because it's a character I've loved since a very young age, but it's also from a studio that hasn't really missed. Like they're pretty rock solid, especially under Sony. And Spider-Man's cool, but I've always been a Weapon X guy.
Nice. I'm very excited for Wolverine. Control Resonant is coming this year, the sequel to Control, switching up the gameplay a little bit.
Oh,
now it's
I didn't actually know about that.
Person shooter.
That's news to me.
Remedy's previous single player game, Alan Wake 2, was a beautiful game. This runs on the Northlight engine, their own proprietary engine. This one trailer that we've seen that came out of the Game Awards, it looks like cool and weird and fun. The trailer doesn't like immediately make my.
I'm nowhere near finishing Control, by the way, and I bought that game like 2-3 years ago.
Jaw drop with its visuals.
Crazy.
But like I was saying, Alan Wake 2 being such a gorgeous game, I would fully expect this one to impress as well. Ryan, what do you think?
Exactly right. I mean, the Northlight has quietly been one of the prettier engines, or at least the output ends up being prettier than pretty much anything else. I'm with you, Damon. I mean, Alan Wake 2 was my game of the year pick for, gosh, I'm losing track of years now. I think that was
24.
23 or, it was 24. Okay, thank you. it's a spectacular looking.
And from what I can remember, Control was almost entirely inside of the F5B building. I don't remember what it's called. This building. I think the entire game happens in the building. So I'm guessing the sequel they'll more than likely be
so
outside.
Moody, and the thing that Northlight's always been really good at, to me, is faces. They're the going back to like Quantum Break, their face tech has always been super good. So this being outside of
Whoa, that's trippy. I like it. Also, this is more than likely it's California, San Francisco. Even though I think, hold on, let me check something. Oh, it's New York. Okay. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's New York. Yeah, I'm wrong. It's not Cali.
Kind of out in Manhattan. Should that'll
there? He just said it.
This game really looks different than the first Control did, and that whole
it's pretty freaking beautiful, man.
One was great from a visual perspective. So yeah, I'm very high on really anything Remedy does. I'm a big Remedy fan, and this one I suspect will be on our short list of best looking games by the end of the year, and probably best playing games too.
And there's also Gears of War E-Day, which, man, it'd be pretty wild if Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and Gears of War E-Day all make it out in the same year.
Don't forget the Halo 1 remake too.
And the Campaign Evolved is coming as well. So yeah, man, that would just be an insane year for Xbox. We haven't seen any gameplay of Gears of War E-Day though, so I guess one, do you think it'll actually make it out this year? And two, do you expect big things from the visuals?
Yes and yes. And I'll give you a good reason that the Coalition as a studio has been at the forefront of Unreal Engine development more so than anyone outside of Epic themselves. And I can point to something that we talked about on this show. This will be like a distant memory for us all that I'm going to dredge up right now. But remember that Matrix Awakens tech demo, that Unreal Engine 5 playable tech demo?
Yep.
Who knows? It might even still be on my Xbox for all I know. But they co-developed that. So they've been cooking now since, well, Gears 5 shipped in 2019. So they have not shipped a game post-pandemic or mid-pandemic for that matter. So it's been a long time coming for Gears of War E-Day, and the Gears of War games, whether it's Epic making them or the Coalition making them, have always been among the best looking video games on the market. And I have full confidence that E-Day is going to repeat that. If I recall correctly, their studio head, I'm blanking on her name at the moment, but I believe their studio head is also their technical director. So they are a technical oriented studio from the top on down. So super psyched to see more from Gears of War E-Day.
Okay, a few more upcoming releases to gather up here. There's Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra from Amy Hennig and Skydance Games. This runs on Unreal Engine 5, and I think there was a whole presentation at GDC last year where they showed off their volumetric smoke coming from a burning barrel. I gotta admit, it looked really good. And this is a type of game, you're in a World War II war zone where there could be lots of smoking things around. And I also think in this story trailer that we've got, the facial animations look really impressive here. Some of the best I've seen. Max, what do you think about Marvel 1943?
I think it looks great. Yeah. I don't know what kind of game it is. I can't get a grasp of that whatsoever. And
yeah, it's really pretty. I don't think it's my type of game, though. I really would just love to see a full-fledged Iron Man game. I really want that. I like Wolverine as well. But we need a full-fledged Iron Man game. He's my favorite Avenger,
Skydance
if you couldn't tell.
Is a fairly new studio. They haven't really done a whole lot. And, Amy Hennig, her work speaks for itself, but I'm also kind of curious, what are we doing? What is this a Uncharted-like? Is it a choose-your-own-adventure, sort of Quantic Dream style game? Again, it's going to look great, but it doesn't feel like a game yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would bet on something closer to Uncharted and not open world, because I think the fidelity we're looking at here would be really, really, really difficult to do in an open world setting.
Too much.
But if you keep it a little bit more linear or like level or section based,
this is another Unreal 5 game too, and I think they put out I want to say they put out a whole demo that was really showcasing the engine itself, but it was one of those kind of heavily asterisks, like this isn't gameplay, we're just playing with the engine, we're showing what you can do with it. And I feel like they've shown an awful lot of without actually really fully nailing down what kind of a game it is. Am I alone in that sentiment?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. We're just making guesses, but I think what we're seeing looks really impressive and like something I probably want to play. There's also the Tomb Raider remake, the original Tomb Raider. It's called Legacy of Atlantis. That one looks really good. It's running on Unreal Engine 5, coming this year. I don't have like specifics to speak to on this.
I reacted to this a couple of weeks back. I feel like I would really enjoy traversing that jungle. It's a very pretty environment. It really is.
Dynamics, their Tomb Raider trilogy. Speak to on this. I just think
let me go back there real quick.
Pretty game and Crystal Dynamics.
I spoke on the texturing of the clothing, the belt. Look at this. The harness for the gun holster. Look at this. Look at the texturing on this and the lighting.
Their Tomb Raider trilogy from the
I can't even say anything.
Now. Those are all very pretty games, so I would expect this one to turn out very nice as well. And then another one that was just announced is
it feels like a spiritual successor to the Indiana Jones game.
Gameplay for, but this is from Fuse Games, which is former Criterion leaders. Criterion from Burnout and Need for Speed. Very, very nice looking racing games. They've got the Star Wars license now to make their racing game, and I think that one's gonna be great. But then, of course, what is it? Ryan, is it November 19th? The release date for GTA 6. Sir. If it sticks, obviously that's gonna be
the cream of the crop.
I mean, what else is there to say? Like every time a GTA comes out, it's like a monumental tectonic shift in game tech.
It's Grand Theft Auto, man.
Well, I mean, our friends at Digital Foundry, they've done analysis on the trailer and come to the conclusion, if I am paraphrasing them fairly here, that it's absolutely stunning what Rockstar is doing from a technical perspective. And I mean, yeah, you look at the detail in this, They claim that it's running on a vanilla PS5.
Yeah.
And so if that's true, then I'm going to be extra glad that
I'm sure it is.
PS5 Pro behind me just for this game, although I guess I'll get to enjoy Wolverine.
And that's what I plan to do
this fall. But this, and then when it comes to PC, probably 12 to 18 months later, it's going to do all kinds of crazy stuff with whatever the top of the line hardware is at that time, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Rockstar is they somehow, from a technological perspective, have done a good job over the years, particularly from the 360, from GTA 4 onwards. Mm-hmm. So 4 and 5 and Red Dead of nailing both the sort of the quality of detail in the micro, like individual character faces and like the cars and things, but also the macro too, like making the larger worlds look incredible as well. Because a lot of games can do kind of one or the other, but maybe not both. And I can't wait to have this running in front of me to see what it actually looks like on, in my case, a PS5.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what this does to GTA 5. Because, Max, you probably saw that story this week from Circana that the top 5 most played games on PS5 this year were the exact same top 5 games from 2024, and GTA 5 is on there.
I was wondering the exact same thing. I feel like of the games that come along, this is really, I think, one of the few that could rock the boat and upset that, because it's the games on that list are it's GTA 5, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite in varying order. But it's those are games that have been like 5 years old at least. They've been out forever. GTA 5, people have definitely gotten their money's worth on that, and I can't help but feel like this is definitely a game that people will go out and buy a new console to play.
Yeah.
Is it enough of them to upset the install base of the PS4 that's still on Fortnite and Roblox? And I don't know. I would like to see that happen. I think that'd be interesting. But it's definitely going to be, a big industry-wide shift on this thing.
Well, those are the games we have our eye on as being particularly visually impressive this year. And of course, there'll be certain other games that pop up as the year continues. But we want to know, dear viewers, what do you think will be the best looking game of 2026? Wolverine, Fable, GTA 6?
I feel like the answer should be GTA 6. Wolverine looks damn good though. And what I saw of Control looks stunning. Especially that like dystopian yellowish looking shot. Let me see if I can find it. Control Remnant. Screenshots. Control. Sequel. Resonant, my bad. Yeah, this one. No, I wasn't actually referring to this one. But yeah, this looks good too. It really should be GTA 5 though. Let me see what the comments are saying. You're definitely getting most of these games from my PC. Hope it doesn't explode though. The fact that you said that means that you know it won't run. Your hardware isn't good enough. I think it'd probably be between Wolverine or GTA 6.
At IGN.com, the day this episode goes live, we'll share the results of the
That's another one. Resident Evil's another. Those three: Resident Evil, GTA, and Wolverine.
GTA 6 to make it fair.
Yeah, because you know GTA is a top dog. You know.
The winning result was Wolverine with 30%.
See, I just said it. The top three is GTA, Wolverine, and Resident Evil Requiem. Yeah, so the two I picked are how everybody else feels.
Resident Evil Requiem was right behind it.
How did Lego even make this list? And I'm not saying that game isn't pretty.
Gears of War E-Day made the top 5, right in the number 5 spot.
Yeah, and that's without anybody really seeing anything, as you pointed out earlier. Like Wolverine, we at least got an initial trailer. Like Gears, we've just had a couple, just that sort of cinematic reveal. So, yeah, we shall see how people get more and more excited about Gears as time goes on. I just think this one, I mean, it's clearly going to come to PS5. It's just a question of whether it's going to be day and date or some months later, which is what they're doing with Forza Horizon 6. But making this a prequel, having it be the original Delta Squad, I think there's going to be a ton of excitement for this. I definitely, and I love 4 and 5. Not everybody, the Xbox community is a little divided on 4 and 5. But I really love them both. But E-Day, I think, man, I'm more excited for E-Day than I am probably for any Gears game since.
Imagine having the time to actually play all of these games.
You're not the only one. Okay, right now at Humble, you can get Humble Choice for just $14.99 and score a curated bundle of PC games for January, including Sonic Frontiers, Tomb Raiders 4 through 6 Remastered, Hunt Showdown 1896, Etrian Odyssey 2 HD, Nice Day for Fishing, Metal Slug Tactics, Settlement Survival, and Wizard of Legend 2. This month's choice is available through February 3rd, so head to Humble.
I actually have Lizard, Wizards of Legends 2. In fact, I didn't remember I had it until I saw this. I need to go play it.
Today. And that's our show. Thank you to both Max and Ryan. Thank you to everyone working behind the scenes to make this show possible. My name is Damon. We'll be back next week with more of the latest gaming hardware. We'll see you then. This episode of Next Gen Console Watch was produced by myself, Damon Hatfield, and Jobert Atienza. Technical direction is by Jobert Atienza, with technical production by Marian Franzen and Amir Rakib. Audio engineering is handled.
All right, we'll go ahead and end that there. Pretty much saw what I expected to see. I'm rooting for GTA, of course. GTA is the top dog. Then Wolverine. Then Resident Evil, in that order. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.